Alright, so I'm out here in my garden. I have this Swiss chard here in this, I'm not sure how many gallons this Home Depot container is. Maybe by looking at it you guys can tell. I can't remember what sizes I bought. I have about 3 of these in the garden. So this is the start of my fall garden. I started this garden in this summer 2025, my first time starting a garden. So in this container I have Swiss chard and cucumber, also a marigold that I all started from seed. I did 1 cucumber seed and 1 Swiss chard seed that actually formed 2 sprouts. I read that they form 2 to 3 sprouts per seed. I think I did rainbow Swiss chard, but these are with the red stalks that sprouted. And so these are about 2.5 to 3 weeks old here. This growth, the cucumber grows so fast. I did a few cucumber seeds during the summer. During the summer. It was a little too hot for them. I got maybe 2 cucumbers off of all 3. They were all in this same container, so they were overcrowded. So I pulled them up for the fall and restarted these. And so this is September. So I started this the 2nd week of September. And so they're about 2.5 to 3 weeks old now. It's September 28th right now. And so I'm here in Texas. So it's still pretty warm. We're just now getting into like the mid to upper 80s in temp. So of course Swiss chard likes cooler temperatures. And so it'll grow slower until temperatures get a little cooler. So I tried to grow it in the summer. It was just way too hot and it wouldn't do anything. It sprouted and then died back immediately. So my cucumber is still a pretty young plant. I have some male flowers on here, no female flowers yet, no female fruit, which is expected because it's still a pretty young plant. So once the male flowers start coming, I'll get more of those, start to get a lot of those, and then after that the female fruit will start to grow. And I typically hand pollinate. I did during the summer anyway because I kept them covered with a shade cloth because it was just too hot for them to grow just out in the open Texas sun, direct sunlight. I get a lot of sun in my yard. So I had to cover them with a shade cloth, which means pollinators couldn't get to it, which means I had to come out here and hand pollinate. See my friend, that grasshopper, is not a friend really of the garden. He's huge. He's been out here for a while. I haven't seen any damage he's done quite yet. So I'm gonna leave him alone for now. He's big and huge and scary. This is a tomato plant that's, I think, starting to kind of die back. Maybe it's reached the end of its life cycle. I got it as a really small seedling from, I think it was Home Depot. And so you can see it's grown like crazy. It's like a tree out here right now. And some marigolds here that actually started to grow this summer. But again, it was so hot, and then it's in this container with this tomato plant that has just overtaken this tote with its root system. So the marigolds didn't really have a lot of room to grow. They had to really compete for those nutrients. And so I got a few tomatoes off of this tomato plant. They were delicious. This is a Better Boy tomato plant. And so I'm not really getting any more fruit from it now. I just picked off the last of the fruit maybe a day or 2 ago, and they were just really small tomatoes. They'll only grow really small and then start to get ripe. So I didn't really want to eat them, especially because they were small splitting. So I just tossed them, honestly. So I really could pull this tomato plant up. I just don't feel like dealing with all that right now. So I'm just letting it do its thing in this pot, in this container. Over here is pretty much just marigolds and zinnias. There's a sad basil in the middle there, if you can see it. All of this stuff is just in this little pot competing, bucket competing for nutrients. So they're struggling, which I'm not too concerned about. It's my first time growing. I'm learning. So I need to come out and water. I will here in just a moment. These are little flower pots that I had left over. I cleaned them, put some soil in them. I have like a little small onion sprouting up there. I tried to grow those during the summer too. I don't know if it was just too hot or what, but they really didn't give me anything at all. So got this little onion in here. This, I'm trying to do lettuce. Cannot get my lettuce to sprout. I just put some more seeds in there yesterday trying to get them to sprout. So I'll water today and hopefully maybe in a week or two I'll get a sprout. If not, I'll try to put something else in there. Also tried to do beans in here. I cannot get my beans will sprout, bush beans. I'll get them to germinate, and after they germinate, they just die back. So, I don't know. I can't remember. I think those are marigolds. I'm not sure. I don't have anything labeled because I'm too lazy to get labels. I think this is just basil, and I think I tried to put lettuce in here too. So this basil actually looks better than the one in the pot with the marigold, so happy about that. There's something else in there growing. I thought I put lettuce in here with it, so that may be like maybe a weed or something that got in there that's growing. Because that doesn't look like anything that I've planted. So I think it's just like weed or maybe a grass seed that's sprouting in there. Again, not too concerned. I don't stress over this garden stuff. It's meant to be fun, a learning experience. If I get to harvest and eat some stuff from out here, then so be it, that's fine. I've eaten some of the basil off of that other basil plant over there before it started to really struggle, and it was very tasty. And so all of this stuff I started maybe the beginning of September, end of August, beginning of September is what I started with this basil and those 2 pots there. So I had plenty of time to germinate. So now that I see that it's struggling, I'm kind of just trying to like add other little seeds to it to see if I can get something to germinate out of those. This is also something I started from the summer, and this really I just started marigolds in here, marigolds and zinnias as pollinator attractors and pest deterrents. And so this is another angle of my tomato plant. See how bushy and how much it sprouted out. I mean, these tomato plants, if you don't keep them pruned, will just grow out of control, which I'm fine with. I love it. It can take over if it wants. I'm fine with that. So this Swiss chard, I took off like 2 leaves yesterday because they were laying against the soil down here, and I didn't want them to pick up any diseases from being just flat against some moist soil. So I picked them off, rinsed them off, and ate them. It tastes like, to me, like similar to mustard greens or spinach. That's what it reminded me of. And I love any kind of green. So yeah, that's my little garden tour. This is all I have. This is all I kind of have time for right now, between work and family. Oh, I forgot this little baggie here. Yesterday, I put some bush bean seeds in this paper towel, moist paper towel, and in this Ziploc bag, and sealed it, and just have it out here in the sun to see if I can get these to germinate over the next week or so. If not, fine. If so, if they germinate, I will put them in probably one of these pots that I can't seem to get anything else to germinate in. Yeah. So I decided that next year, if I'm still at this gardening thing, probably like for the springtime, I would put some actual garden beds along like this little fence line. I think that back part of the fence gets a lot of shade, so I put things that kind of like thrive in a little more shade back there. This gets more sun over here, so I put sun-loving vegetables and fruit over here. And so I want some in-ground or raised beds or something, just something with a little more space. I'm just tired of trying to pick and choose what I put in these little pots, because I'm very limited with these. But while I'm still kind of growing and coming into my gardening, I didn't want to invest in doing like full beds and stuff. Alright, so that's it. I'll come back with updates as things kind of progress, or if I just think of something else to tell you guys. Alright, if you have any questions, you can put them in comments. I'll try to answer. Any suggestions, I'm fine with that. But, I'm not trying to spend a whole lot of money on gardening stuff. I'm not trying to take a whole lot of time out here because, I work full-time, strange hours. So, yeah. I do fertilize, like once a week usually. I have liquid fertilizer, so I come in, fertilize everything once a week. Water every day to every other day. I think it's mostly every other day. I watered a little bit, I think it's the day before yesterday. Was it yesterday? I came out and gave them some fertilizer yesterday. And so I'll give them some water today just because the soil feels dry. I only water when like the top of the pot feels a little dry, the top of the soil feels a little dry. Then I'll come out and give them some water. We also have a sprinkler system that we turn on every now and again, 3 times a week, and then more frequently if I feel like I want to give them some water, but I don't feel like coming out here to physically water, I'll turn on the sprinklers. And so definitely once I get my garden beds going in the yard, I'll probably get like an irrigation system for those, for more consistent watering. But all right, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll talk to you later.